All right, well, this is a paving situation I didn't expect,
Yeah.
so we're going to go down a little
Okay.
to the right here.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, Barnstable's been fortunate in that we've been able to set aside $3.5 million annually in our capital trust fund to do road repairs. So
You're proud of your road
we're
conditions
proud of
and
the
way you keep
public
up?
road
Yeah.
conditions. Private roads, we have another story, but there you've got a whole new roadway going in there on Scudder Ave, which is the way into Hyannis.
You must get it all the time. Misconceived notions, right here.
Yep, take a left here.
People that don't know anything about this town that are from Nantucket.
Well, yes, because they come through our town.
Yes.
We'd like them to stay and go down.
Well, that's
to
what we're going to help do.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're going to.
We'll go by we'll go by the shanties, which are on Bismarck Park, which are very successful, and I'll go into greater depth. A nice area to visit if you only have a couple of hours on your way off to the boat.
I'm so glad we're doing this because I'm getting a good first-hand account of what happened.
Well, people are, the 7 villages are very distinct. We're going to have time to look at Hyannis, but my village of Centerville is just, as Craigville Beach is really, a nice area to visit and a nice little village downtown. Barnstable Village on the north side, quintessential, Cape Cod village. The, Cotuit, which is you practically need a passport to get to it so far away. They're an artist community and just have the Cotuit Kettleers. We're going to go right here.
Okay.
And see, we used to have little fire stations like this. This is actually probably going to be sold, but
they closed it, huh?
Yeah, they just.
What are they going to do with it?
Well, they're trying to sell it, I think, because they're building a new fire station in Hyannis and looking for that money.
Hopefully, it'll stay looking like that. Why doesn't
so.
the historical association buy that and keep it?
Hyannis does not have an historical association.
What?
Yeah. Centerville, Osterville, Mawsonsville, they all have an historical situation.
What do they think? The
Hyannis has gotten
the only history?
Yeah, they've gotten so big that they don't have that same village feel as much anymore. So we're walking,
Look at this.
Now, Hyannisport is not a village. It's a neighborhood.
That's where we are now.
We're just as we go over the hill here, we're into Hyannisport.
Right.
And we're going to come right down to the Kennedy compound.
Oh, we are. That's right. We have to see that.
We have to see that.
Now, are they still around? I mean, do they?
They're very much around. As a matter of fact, there were sightings this weekend. A lot of the kids are back at Four Seas and all of that. So
good.
I think what would be good is to, we'll go down here and take a right.
Okay.
At the stop sign. We'll go up to Sunset Hill where the Hyannisport Club was, where everybody
Now, did you
played.
grow up around here?
No, I grew up in North Attleboro.
Oh,
But
okay.
my family vacationed on the Cape really in the 50s. We were able to build a house down in North Falmouth, Magansett. And then we gravitated up here because my brother started working for Highline. And he was actually a captain. My brother, John Lynch, was a captain for 40 years. He's doing it part-time now, and ran the Gray Lady for years over to Nantucket. So we've had a connection to Nantucket for many years. I was a captain through the 70s, 60s and 70s, and ran a boat over to Nantucket and to the Vineyard, but most of the Vineyard. I was a Vineyard guy.
So should I call you captain?
You could.
I mean, you still got it?
Captain of a variety of ships.
My
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
now you're running the town.
I'm
You're
running the town, running the
town.
captain of the town.
Unbelievable. You must love this job, though.
I
Or is
enjoy
it-
the diversity of issues.
Yeah.
I like being. It's good to be. We can go in here
Yeah,
and
okay.
circle around.
All right, good.
This is the Hyannisport Club,
Ooh.
and
this
of course is where
beautiful. I've
John
never been here.
Kennedy played.
Of course.
You're looking out down toward Centerville, my village, down toward Cotuit, and
That's
this-
to it over there?
little more to your left.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. You're going down toward Osterville.
Oh, Osterville,
and
right.
you're looking out onto Squaw Island. So Squaw Island, of course, is where the president had his summer White House, very last house out there. And this naturally, in a beautiful day like today, is a very popular club to be at. So,
Wow.
so
this is a very exclusive club. You can't. I would think so. It's not easy to. It's a waiting list.
You got money, you might get in.
Okay. If you got enough money, you can get in. maybe.
Golf has gone down a little bit. This is a pretty exclusive club, so I.
Yeah, right. It's hard to say. I mean,
I've
we've
never
got them
been-
on Nantucket.
Oh yes, you do.
Do you come out a lot? Or no?
My wife used to, and the family used to have a place out on New Street
Oh,
in
okay.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
So we'll be coming out there on the weekend of June 7th because her father, who recently passed away, is going to be the ashes interred at the Wisconsin Chapel.
Oh,
They have a little
wow.
columbarium there, so
Okay.
very attached to that.
Yep.
We can go down this way,
Okay.
and you'll have to remember this on your way back
I'm
because
gonna have to.
you will.
I can listen, and
This will then
this
bring
is
you.
Hawthorne, yeah.
This will bring you back to the Kennedy compound, so you can get a nice shot of that.
Oh, okay.
This is
So most of the folks around here, are they year-rounders, or is this
no.
a...
This is definitely a seasonal village.
Okay.
A seasonal
Just like
neighborhood.
Nantucket.
The Shrivers live down there. Sergeant Shriver and Eunice used to be down there.
Oh, okay.
There's a big white house that you can see from the what it is there.
I remember that this is just a beach club.
Yeah, this is the beach club,
Yeah.
and so it's.
Do I turn here?
Yeah, turn here. As you can see, very unpretentious
Very unpretentious.
and understated. So, and I think
Isn't that
people
unusual
in Hyannisport
today's
like that.
age?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
But
really
it's-
something. It used to be, everything used to be understated. You go out to Nantucket and it's all
Yeah.
glitz and
And now it's definitely.
showing off. And,
Well, over
kinda
here we
miss it.
understand that the billionaires are forcing out the millionaires. Is that what's happening on
there you
Nantucket?
go. Oh, yeah. That happened a long time
We have a lot of regrowth up, a lot of rebuilding here too. This house right here is totally redone, and they did a very nice job of
It's
keeping it
beautiful.
in. They're keeping it in the
That
deck.
is gorgeous.
But they had actually expanded that. They
Love the
just changed it
windows.
all the way around.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah. So when
So
you come
peaceful.
back here, you're gonna drive up
Yeah.
and stop at Martian Ave up here.
Right.
And when you look down and in, and actually if you probably stop right about here,
Yeah.
this
There
third
it is.
home in,
Yeah.
that's Robert F. Kennedy's home.
Oh, okay.
And that's where Eunice still lives. The one with the new shingled roof,
Yeah.
that's the ambassador's
Oh,
house.
okay.
That's where Ted lived for so many years.
Right, okay.
And then behind us, we'll go
But
up
you
here.
can't go down there. You're not. They
Yeah.
don't really let you down there, do they?
Drive up a little,
See what
and
they
if
say?
if you came back with your camera and just did a loop,
Yeah. They'd
there's
be
a
okay
loop
with
down
that.
there. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody would stop you,
Yeah.
and you just tell them you're doing a documentary, and I don't
I'll-
think anybody's
I'll
really here
drop
now.
your name.
Yeah,
How about that?
and they'll
get
say,
me.
that guy, we told him not to send people down here. This house right in here that you can see, that's the president's old house, and that's where Ted Jr. lives now. That's in trust.
Okay.
So the big house, the ambassador's house, is
Should I take a right?
yep, take it right here. The ambassador's house is actually owned now by the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, and they want to have that be a retreat, museum, study area for those that are, in public service and stuff. So they're going down that road. So this is the old president's house.
Wow.
He redid that this year. Did a beautiful re. This is Robert F. Kennedy's home,
Oh, cool.
Jr.
Yeah.
So they just bought that recently, and
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and others, down visiting or whatever. So-
Okay.
And
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, well, she bought a house right on the waterfront when
Oh.
when she and Connor were
I don't
kind of
really keep
together.
track of her,
Oh,
but I
well,
mean-
Connor at age 18 was dating Taylor Swift,
Ah, there you go.
and this is 2 years ago. So she decided she'd buy a house here. I guess that's what
But, I
you
mean,
do when
isn't
you
she
have all
only
the
like
money in the
20
world.
years old?
Yeah, at 22, whatever. So she bought the house. The relationship didn't work out too well. He had to go back to high school, so. And so she sold the house and made $400,000 in the process, and they've been redoing it. The people who bought it spending a bundle.
Okay, but she's no longer here.
She's no longer here. So this is the Hyannisport Beach, also known as Forts Beach or East Beach.
Is this a public beach?
This is a public beach, but it's restricted to residents only.
Got it.
So we have a parking sticker and go down
Residents of
there.
Barnstable.
Barnstable.
Yeah.
So we get a beach sticker for
There's not a lot of parking, so I would
No.
think that
no.
it's first come, first served.
Yeah. Little post office is up there, but now we're down in here, and
So,
It-
Yeah, what were
I
you
think
gonna
one thing you can see is, and we'll be going by several of them.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really nice beaches in town. You know,
Who
they're
knew?
not Surfside, they're not
Right.
Sconset with the rolling waves, but you can see how protected
All right,
the harbor
that's
is
what
here.
I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
Water quality.
Yep.
How?
You
Tell
know,
me straight.
our
What do
beaches.
you got?
Very rarely do you see a beach closed because of water quality. We test them all the time, and they will happen after certain runoff of road runoff. But generally, the seawater very high quality. This was actually Sam Barber, who was is a famous artist, a lot of watercolors. He owned this for a long time. There goes your boat out there, the High Line's
Oh
going
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
And he just sold this to a family, but so this has always been distinctive, a stucco style home here.
Do you have scallops getting back to the harbor? Do you have scallops
Yes.
in the harbor?
You know, it's been a little weak recently. Yeah, scallops
We're
have
really worried about our
scallops
own
have
harbor.
really dropped off.
Well, they're
we've
an
done
indicator.
a lot of shell. Yeah, they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of boat traffic. You
That's
get
right. Yep, and a lot of eelgrass.
Right.
And we're doing spending a good deal of money on shellfish propagation, doing a lot of quahog and oyster seeding, and over on the north side.
Now, what
as well.
about how are you handling your fertilizer issue?
Well,
How is
there's a fertilizer regulation. It's under consideration, but
Okay.
it hasn't been adopted
No.
in any way yet. So
we're the same. Over
yeah,
there.
where the
We
Board
want
of Health,
people to do it naturally.
right? The Board of Health and others are thinking about it. And here's a good example of how you take a smaller home and just redo it.
Oh,
But you see
yeah.
that all the
Oh,
time
sure.
out on Nantucket, where these cottages become so much more. Something where.
And what about your HDC? Your rules and regulations. What's permitted and what's not permitted here?
And
Like Nantucket's very strict.
yeah, we don't have a lot of. Well, let me. I'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
This is a boardwalk that we just put in. You see the people strolling along
Yeah.
here. They used to walk on the road here. When you're walking along here, you can see out to Nantucket Sound. You've got the whole. Since it's C Street Beach now, if you can stop for a second,
Sure.
this whole area was part of a sewering effort that's called Stewart's Creek, and that's part of our nitrogen difficulties that we've had, but this is all trying to flush out a lot of that old nutrients and stuff that are in there, and you can see the bird life that's in there. We have there's a little heron there.
Sure, there's
and
plenty. I mean, it's
there's-
coming right back.
And behind us we have an osprey nest, and the osprey often sits over to your left in the tree area, and so this is a public beach, resident, non-resident, and it's a very popular beach during the summer months, as you might expect.